Hi, my name is Christine and I'm from Switzerland. In 2018 I got to lead a team to Kenya and the Philippines, and one time that God really showed up was when we were traveling as a team and we were about to enter the Philippines. The whole team had passed through customs, but there was one girl with a Ukrainian passport that would have had to have a visa before coming to the Philippines, and at that time we were there in the country and she didn't have the visa, and we really prayed and asked God, like, please open the door, make a way. So we prayed, God, would you please just open the doors? We don't want to send her back. We came from China, and so we stayed there at the airport and talked for about 2 hours, and then eventually she was able to stay the night there, and my co-leader and I, we went into the city the next morning and found this place where we could get the paper for her to make it through the custom and join the team, and that was just such a miracle.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth and I'm from Los Angeles. Since I was very young, I always dream about going to Paris, but going to Paris Fashion Week. And it's a dream that I lay before the Lord and I gave it to Him. But I never imagined in my life that God would take me to Paris Fashion Week as a full-time missionary. So this summer, at one point, I felt the Lord speaking to me, saying that He was going to take me to Paris for Paris Fashion Week this year. And I was like, what, God? Did I hear you right? Did you really say that you were going to take me to Paris this year? Because it sounded so wild and so crazy. One, because I didn't have finances. Second, because I had no context in the industry for Paris Fashion Week. But I really feel like the Lord has said it. I see a post that it said that she was going to have her very first fashion show in Paris during Paris Fashion Week this year. And I was like, what? I can't believe it. This designer that I have prayed about working with, like, she's having her first Paris Fashion Week during the same time that God is leading me to go to Paris Fashion Week. Email her and let her know that you are going. Let her know that I'm leading you by faith, that you just have your flight ticket, that you don't know what you're gonna do when you get there, that you're just gonna go and show up and wait what I'm gonna see. So I emailed her and I told her that pretty much. And then the next day she contacted me and asked me if I could come to meet her for an interview. And I was like, what in the world, like an interview? I was just asking if I could be a volunteer or if she needed any help. And she was really like thinking that that she really felt that it was me, like the role that she had set up, like that it was the role that she was going to give it to somebody else. It was actually for me, and that meant that I was going to be her personal assistant and help her direct the show. And God just did so much in my heart about how He makes miracles happen.
Hi guys, I'm Eric. I'm from Minnesota, and now I'm on staff here at YWAM LA. And there was one time, us and the students were walking down the LA streets, and we saw this woman holding a sign that said heaven or hell on it. Even almost made the whole group tear up as she was looking at everybody and saying, I care about where these people are going. These people need life, and these people are being consumed by the wrong things. Andre pulled us aside and said he thought we needed to repent of that, and because we didn't know who the woman was, and we never gave her a chance. We never saw how she was actually expressing people. Maybe she was loving people the only way she knew how to. And we just repented as a group, asked for forgiveness, looked to God, and just got fresh perspective to love this woman.
Hi, my name is Julie and I'm from British Columbia, Canada. So during my DTS, God really spoke to me about getting out of my comfort zone, and I didn't know what that meant until I went on outreach and I went to Athens, Greece. And during that we went to go to the brothels to speak to the women, and it made me, the first couple times it made me really uncomfortable, and then I got this like peace over me, and I was like, okay, this really isn't that bad because God is right by my side. And like a week or two after I was there, I prayed for 5 women in the brothels, which is like super out of my comfort zone to pray for strangers. But it was so cool because I did it with such like courage and peace in my mind, and God really showed me how He can be like with me. And so God really showed me how He can be with me from so far away and in such an uncomfortable situation, and it was cool because He was
just like giving me so much peace and boldness, which is so unlike me. But yeah, God is really cool for doing that, and I'm changed forever.
I'm Laura Lynn Callan from Kentucky. So there was one day that I went to the 7-Eleven. It's right down the street from this campus. I walked out of the Sev and there was a lady sitting on the curb and she was about to smoke some cigarettes and she was like, "Hey, are you about to go drive back in those canyons?" And I'm like, yes I am. I pulled up next to her and I was like, "Man, I would love to give you a ride. You can hop on in, just don't smoke in here," because she was about to smoke a cigarette. And so she's like, "Okay, no problem." She put her cigarette out. So then I started just chatting with her and driving back to where she lives. And next thing you know, I'm getting to share the gospel with her. We pull up in front of a bar and I'm just like sharing who Jesus is and how he died for our sin and how we have new life. And the whole point of him doing all that is so that we can be connected with him. And she started tearing up. And then I was like, "Hey, can I pray with you? I just feel like God's really touching your heart right now." And she's like, "Yeah, please." So I prayed with her. "Have you received salvation through him?" And she was like, "No, I actually saw people get baptized at a park and stuff, and I wanted to do it, but I never took the step to do it." And I'm like, "Well, would you like to receive salvation today?" And she was like, Yes, I would like to receive salvation." And so I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" And I took her number and I texted her and invited her to church. But the big thing for me is that car was a tool that God used to bring someone to receive salvation. And he blessed me with that car, and that's what's happening here. I live here on this campus with YWAM LA, and I'm on staff, and 7-Eleven is right down the street.
Hi, I'm Hannah and I'm from Germany. So I did my DTS in January this year, and there's like a 7-Eleven close by, like near the base. And yeah, sometimes like often in the week we would go there and just like get snacks or like, yeah. So yeah, there's always like people hanging out there, and we saw this homeless lady like a couple of days, and we were like, maybe we should talk to her. But like the first time we were like super scared, and we were like, "Oh no, like I don't know what she's gonna think." Next time we went like a couple of days later, we saw her again, and we were like, okay, so that's like obviously God like telling us to go. So yeah, we sat down with her, and like she talked about that she just had a heart attack like a couple of weeks ago, and like that she has like some health issues, and like it was a super cool story. We just sat there like for 20 minutes just talking to her about her life, and like in the end we got to pray for her and like pray for her husband and like for her family and everything. It was like super cool, like to know that being bold is so like it's so worth it, even though you're scared about like talking to strangers. It's so worth it. And yeah, I think God did a lot through this conversation.